Last week's federal government shutdown happened as the Senate could not come up with a plan to keep the government funded. The president wanted funding for his wall, and Senate Democrats stood firmly on immigration and what to do for the immigrants born or brought to the U.S. by their immigrant parents. The funding to keep the government running for another month passed, but the immigrants and the dreamers are still in limbo as the March deadline nears. We have in studio today Carolina Ramirez from United We Dream. Welcome to the studio, Ms. Ramirez.
I'm very happy to be.
Okay, wonderful. And so, sense of urgency, we don't have till March to make this happen?
Actually, yeah. So March is actually an arbitrary deadline that the Trump administration kind of pulled out. But essentially, the Trump administration killed this DACA program, which I'm a beneficiary of, back in September of this year. What this means for me is that, when I got DACA, my life changed. I was able to have the opportunity to apply to work. I was able to get a work permit. In Texas, I cannot get a driver's license unless I have a social security number and I have a legal work permit. I was able to have a driver's license. The day that the Trump administration killed DACA, slowly, many of us started to lose our ability to renew our work permits. We started to lose the ability to have our driver's licenses. And it's happening every single day. 100 people every single day are losing the ability to work in this country.
And a lot of other folks that are being affected by this, it goes all the way across the spectrum.
That's right. That's right. We know that here in Houston, we have such a diverse community. We have folks from API organizations who have received assistance, legal assistance to help with DACA. So we have folks from Vietnam, and we have folks from other parts of the world, Philippines. We have folks from Latin America, from all around Latin America. We also have folks from a lot of countries in Africa. We have a big community of Nigerian. And so we really need to make sure that as a community, we realize that this issue, or this is not even an issue, it's a huge humanitarian challenge that we're facing. It's right here. And the reality is that we know that undocumented folks who are Black as well are at a higher risk of getting deported than folks who have lighter skin.
Sure.
And that should be very worrying because I don't know if folks knew this, but Harris County had been known as the deportation capital of the United States.
Wow. I did not know that.
If I might just interject, one thing, growing up, actually, I volunteered quite frequently with my mother and my sister at Casa Juan Diego, which is off of Durham Street on Rose Street here in the Rice Military area. And they have, for decades now, and have played a vital role in kind of being a safe haven and helping out both women, children, and families. And one of course, many organizations in the city. Could you explain to our listeners again some of the services that United We Dream does for Houstonians and immigrants here in the city?
Yeah, so our organization is an undocumented youth-led organization. I was one of the founding members of this chapter here in Houston, along with Oscar. And from the very beginning, our commitment was to make sure that we created spaces where undocumented folks were able to get better informed and were able to have legal assistance with DACA. And I think that was really important for folks to realize at apartment buildings, at churches, to make sure that continues. And another part of the work has been work on education access, making sure that folks are really clear that undocumented folks here in Texas are able to go to school. And I would like to give a important highlight that there's actually great organizations in Houston right now who are helping with DACA renewals. If folks visit HoustonImmigration.org, that is a great resource that is available in multiple languages, and it's part of the Houston Immigration Legal Services Collaborative, so I really encourage folks to visit that website.
Well, thank you for sharing that with our listeners as well. I think you maybe already mentioned the National Immigration Law Center as another resourceful website as well.
Yes.
Carolina, thank you for coming in the studio and giving us an update on where DACA and the Dreamers are. We really appreciate it, and wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.